It's very useful too. Yeah, very fast.
Okay. 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 So what's the massive import? Okay. What would have taken one file a few hours already? This took
Just 1 minute.
1 minute for all the files.
No, one
One.
one each text file.
Okay. Each file 1 minute.
Like testing, so.
Okay. Okay. So
So to show them where to check the path.
the path.
Not sure if their path is the same.
Oh, okay.
Under
You need to check the path of the database, right?
the path of the option files, under administration option files,
There's the option file. The one usually is in the same
Option
folder
files.
as the
configuration files.
configuration file, right?
Yeah, it's the same.
Usually. Oh, okay. Okay. Because mine is a bit different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm running
Yours different.
MySQL off WAMP, which is a PHP Apache MySQL kind of combination. So it's not in the regular place where you see yours.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think it's normally together in the MySQL directory.
Yes.
Okay. So wherever MySQL is installed, right, look for the options file is my NIN. Is it? This is the one. Yeah. Okay.
So there is the upload folder.
Mm,
So I think yours is data directory.
data directory here,
So
right?
instead of then yours is shared. That means
Shared.
because you use WAM 64.
Yep.
Whereas mine is the InnoDB.
InnoDB, right?
InnoDB, then InnoDB, the name of the folder is not shared. It's actually uploads.
Mm. Yours is uploads, right?
So maybe don't have to look at this because you can see up there in your folder without going into the init file.
That's
Up here you already can see. So if you all can find your MSSQL folder.
the MySQL folder with the bin data.
Yeah. Then you see bin data and all. Then you should have, if you are using InnoDB, you all know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Let me go to my. Okay, so I have a regular installation of MySQL, which falls under I think program
data.
files, or program data, is it?
Program data.
And
Program
MySQL,
MSSQL.
and MySQL here. Then there's a server
Yes,
8.
correct. Yeah.
There's a date
Then
uploads, right?
Yeah.
Here. So server 8 has uploads. Yeah. So in the server you got the uploads folder. So it's where you put the text file to do upload, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you try putting but yours is different.
Okay. It's okay, I can let me turn off some things first. I can run two MySQL at the same time. Okay. 8 with uploads. Okay. I think I should use the 8. See if I can get the 8 started first. Let me start my MySQL 8 first.
Yeah, mine was MSSQL 80.
80, right? Yeah. The default. Okay, then I connect to 8. Okay. So this is my 8 with, don't have a lot of things, but this is the main table. So in the uploads folder, so this is 8 and my console is 8. So I need to put one of the text files here. Do you need to change it to a CSV or just a
No,
TXT?
yeah.
Let's try a TXT file.
As whatever we
As it is.
we unzip from yours.
Okay. And
But
you to do it.
uploads folder at folder level, I change the security. Uploads folder.
Here, right?
Yeah.
So you need to change
Properties,
permissions.
you need to change permission.
Yeah. So under security, you have a list of permissions. You click edit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
And then you add.
You add the
everyone.
Everyone.
Because I don't know
which user to use.
I tried putting my taxi app user, it doesn't work. So just put
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah.
Then,
Okay.
but with a read permission.
You read permission, right?
Yeah. Everyone.
I guess it's a bit difficult to figure out which one because you're not really sure MySQL uses which user.
Yeah, MySQL using which service or
Okay.
system.
So make sure you have right.
You have
Read
just
right?
read permission
Permission
can,
enough, right?
because it's reading from the uploads.
Okay.
So I at least control it like that.
Yeah. You don't want to anyhow give permissions any. Okay, so after you've done that, next step will be what's your next step? You use a shell, right? You use a shell.
Oh, okay. My taxi movement data, I've actually got to recreate with the same sequence as your raw data.
You mean the same structure?
Yeah. As in the track, you see the columns is actually.
Let's see. Yeah.
Because the track date time
Yes.
in the raw data is
before conversion.
And somehow I tried many methods, but it doesn't work. So I think I change it to the same sequence.
Oh, sequence, huh?
Sequence.
That means it's you appear at the same.
So
place.
I basically drop table. Then I use your script for creating, and then I just
modify
change
the sequence.
Change a few.
Oh, because it follows the sequence.
I follow your SQL taxi app.
Okay, so the sequence for the file. So when you say sequence, it meant like it started with date first, then followed by longitude and latitude, right?
Yeah.
So I had to move the sequence in the order.
Yes. Oh, but you don't have data, you can do this moving. Or have data, still can do this.
You have data. I'm not sure you have data, you can do this or not. Okay, for the date time, you also encounter an issue, right?
Conversion. No, but doesn't matter. Just set as date time. Then during load,
then you can set the thing.
I can do the set.
Okay. You can just drag the thing actually. So.
Just drag. They following you of the data.
Do you keep the ID inside?
Yes,
keep the ID, right?
Keep it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Auto increment.
Auto increment. Okay.
Then after this.
So after this, you did the.
You do the load data in file.
So that's a command, right?
Yeah.
Load data in file, and then the name of the file.
Code, the path.
The path. And the path is to follow this, right?
Yes.
Followed by the path, the file name, close the quote.
Close quote.
Okay.
Set into table.
Into table. So this will be taxi movement, right?
Yeah. Put that as the next line.
So load data in file path into table taxi movement. Yes. And you need to do something else. So
fields terminated by comma.
Fields. Oh, just put fields.
No, yeah, key into fields terminated by comma. The code, the single quote,
comma,
then space enclosed by single quote, double quote. Actually, it's enclosed by the double quote.
Double quote, enclosed by the double quote, right? Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Then the next line, lines terminated by.
Because you know this is the like Excel, right? Comma, then the quote, then this is break line. Break line would be.
Okay, at first I tried only /n,
it doesn't work, right?
But /r/n, because R for return.
Yes. Then new line.
And then new line. So
this must be single quote, right?
Yeah. Single quote also.
Okay.
Then bracket.
Then you do a bracket.
That's where you
the
define
indexes.
Your input. I think the output fields or what?
Output fields, right?
This is to okay, because I got put, yeah, I think this is the output field matching or something like that.
Yes.
So I put a commercial ad sign, track underscore date time,
So it's matching the
matching
word, right?
the same, must match the same sequence as the input file. If the next one, I straight away longitude and latitude, because it the name match the no the double the format matches, then I don't have to manipulate. But the first one I need to manipulate, so I use
Oh, okay. But if you don't need to, then it's like this.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
But now I need to, so commercial ad.
So you can add.
So then the next line,
Mm-hmm.
you do the set.
Then you set, right?
Set track underscore date time.
This is set the correct value, right?
Yeah, equals
to the
then
date.
the date underscore add
Underscore add.
ADD. Then bracket.
Then bracket
date
the date.
Underscore format. Then bracket substring.
Because you need to clear away the time zone, right?
I need to clear away the
time zone. So
zone.
substring from position, because it's fixed,
from at track underscore date time, comma 1,
So you pick from 1 to
19.
119. So it's like from here to the plus here, right? Before plus, right? So you look at the cursor, is column 19, correct? Okay, then substring, date format, you need to put in the special format, right? So y,
I use the
small y.
percent capital Y.
Percent capital Y, then dash
percent small
m, dash percent small d,
then a space,
then space, then your time,
then
right?
your
Percent
H, then
colon, percent I, right? I for minutes, right?
Yeah, for
No.
minutes, then colon percent S.
Okay. Colon percent S for seconds. Then
close
it, and close this, and close.
comma,
no,
comma, interval 8 hours.
Interval 8 hours.
Yeah, this is from TV.
So literally type in interval 8 hour.
Yeah, interval, the whole thing. Interval 8 hour, then that's it.
Okay. So what did you say about interval 8 hour? What does it mean? Interval 8?
Then it automatically adds the hour
time,
with
the date time.
Extra 8 hour, and it even know how to roll over midnight,
Because if it's plus, it will roll over the next midnight.
Yeah.
So it gives you the accurate time based on this, right?
Yeah, so straight away on the script to upload, it already can format date time already.
Okay, the T in between, do you leave it as a T here?
No.
No, actually not, right? It will be blank. You just ignore it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very clever.
Okay, so how it's matching is just by parts and like, okay, first digit, second. Okay.
How you want the date.
So you have fields submitted by, you specify the delimiter, specify how the fields are enclosed, specify the line break. So for longitude and latitude, there's no need to add signs as well.
Because it's double and then it matches the format.
And this one is to set the column the track date time equals to this.
Yes.
Okay. And then you can run it.
Yes. Currently your table is empty for this database.
Yeah, I think this is empty. So let's run it.
Oh.
Secure file private option. Oh, secure file private option. Okay. I think normally it try to prevent you from writing, doing this kind of imports.
Oh.
What's it? Error? It's running with this option, so I cannot execute. Okay. Did anybody try to type in a statement and run this? Same area, right? Secure file private option.
290. You check your option files if your path for that is thick. Directories, yeah. InnoDB, is this under
InnoDB, I think it is.
the tab?
Yep, there's an InnoDB tab here. Okay.
David
Do you encounter this error before?
Yes, yes. That's when I realized I've got to put into the correct folder here. I did make documentation.
Okay. Security, I think maybe security. Try. Yeah, secure power privilege. This one does it does
Oh yeah,
limit.
correct. I did pick this. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, take this one.
Yeah,
Okay, and probably restart server, I guess.
yes.
Okay. Restart the service. Okay, so let's try to run that again. Let me just disconnect and connect.
Just now your secure file privilege.
It should be tick or untick.
Did it specify the? Did it specify the folder there just now? The path name.
The path name. I think I missed out the path name.
I actually have.
You have a path name, right?
Name there for the upload.
So this has to be the path name, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so let's. So you can actually specify any path you want in your PC here.
Okay.
So instead of that, you could specify somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay, let's try restart. And no wonder the text box said platform specific. Because the path would be very different if you're on a Mac or on a Linux. Okay, let's go back here and run this. Still running secure. Should meant to be checked or unchecked?
Should be checked.
Okay, let me disconnect and connect again. No, always Google. It must be disabled. So actually I should uncheck it somehow. But the error came out before when it was checked before.
Yours was.
It's used to limit the effect of data import, export such as those performed by load data and select insert. These operations are limited only to users who have the file privilege. Okay, if empty, here's no effect. It's not a secure setting. So it should be empty by right. Funny. Yeah. So they say this should have been empty. Okay. try without anything.
Can you check the file security? Just now you already inherit the security permissions down to child.
Should have. Hey, wait. Unblock this one. Yeah, everyone read.
Oh, mine is read and execute.
Oh, read and execute. Okay, maybe there's a difference.
Read and execute, yeah.
Okay, let's try that. So you could read and execute.
Read and execute. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that. Still stuck there.
Now you put that.
Let me just put this back. So the meaning of this means if you specify one, this folder will allow all the uploads. That's what it seems to mean. If you specify now, that means you will not do any load data from anywhere. If you don't specify, that means it's not secure. Not secure sounds like you can do it anywhere. Yeah, still. Could it be my user doesn't have file privilege? Got file privilege.
No selected schema is okay now.
Because DBA. Yeah. If not selected schema, the error will be different. Alone. Okay, empty string. Now try another way. Try the empty string version. Still no. Wait, now it's different. 29. Okay. At least I got different response. What did 29 say? 29 say file not found. Oh, wait. I'm missing the slash.
Oh, yeah, I remember. The slash is the other way around.
The other way around, right? Okay, because why is that so? The slash. Okay. Have you heard of escape characters? Okay. There's this thing called escape characters. So when you put a slash, like you realize the slash r slash n works, right? It's different. So this slash, and this slash. Okay. So normally in your Windows, it's also quite confusing whether Windows, Linux, or Mac, right? So in Windows, when you look at your folder structure, you click on the top, it's always this slash. Okay. Website is this slash. Mac is, I think this slash also, right? Okay. So what's the difference? So when you're writing code, even in Java, normally this slash is called escape. Why is it called escape? Because sometimes you have certain characters that are reserved or sort of quite dangerous. Example, let's say in the language, this add character is actually a special character. And in order to escape, you actually tell the programming language that, hey, I don't want you to treat this as a special character. I want you to treat it as a regular string. You put a escape in front of it. Yeah. So they call it escape. So sometimes you will encounter this in a lot of languages, like either in MySQL or Java. You encounter like special characters. You'll complain, hey, that special character actually means something special. Then you cannot type it like that. You need to use the escape character first. Okay. So let's try with the folders. So folders also is one thing that sometimes works, doesn't work. So if yours works with this, it works. It doesn't, then you to do this. Okay. So let's try that. Running. Okay. let's use computers faster now.
Yeah.
Mine is the i7 7th generation,
I've got 16 gig RAM.
16 gig RAM. Yeah. So you say it took a minute, right, to run one file?
Yeah.
Roughly a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
The action will come out and says 30 seconds.
Yeah.
For
They'll tell you how long it took, right?
Yeah, but I see that you
Huh?
also get error code 2.
And then lost connection during query, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. But the data doesn't get refreshed in there until after about a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so there's
I
some
think it buffer somewhere.
processing happening, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even though the job.
So let's click on the server data and see what happens. Oh, stop. Oh, CPU 100%. Okay, it's working very hard. Okay, it's definitely working very hard. Reads and writes per second, buffer. Okay, so definitely there's something happening. That's why it's suddenly working really hard there. So let's try to see if everything went in, or significant amount of data went in. I'll not do a count. I'll do a count instead. So let me do a count. So from taxi movement data. Interesting, you put a limit here. Oh, the automatic limit. Okay, so even counting takes some time.
But okay lah, still very fast already.
Okay, I have a project.
If it takes long means okay.
18 seconds.
Eh?
0?
That means not yet.
That means not yet.
Yeah. You can do your select record maybe the first 100.
Let's see. So it seems like it's loading the file in the memory, and then from there trying to enter the data. Stop. Take 10. Oh, data Sparrow. Okay, yeah. I think this is one of the few times I see a database actually taking time to do something. How many records were there in the file you imported? One file?
First was like a 7 million over.
7 million.
But this you're using the other.
This is 0107. Yeah. Still not there. So it's taking time to enter the data. Okay.
Maybe you check your server status.
Okay.
It will go in after a while.
After a while, right? Yeah. I guess so. Okay. Yeah. Considering running 2 servers at the same time. Okay, so right back here. So do you all get the steps to do import load data? Never is recorded. So it's recorded with voice. Okay, I think OBS. I think OBS Studio is far more stable than Cam Studio. Okay, so far good, no problem. Drop, right? Okay, so if you so this way today we went through this way today to load the entire file. So don't need to wait for the yeah, so one file. So last time what I showed you was table data import, right? Okay, so this is small file is okay, but so the taxi data one file has approximately 7 million records. So that one you use the load data in method. Okay. So this is a query here. Right. Okay, so let's see what shall we do today. What was the assignment? If you okay, let's come back to the code. Yes, 3 try to stop. Very important assignment because you will be asked again somehow in another form. Okay. Okay, so your task is to log the user when they fail to log in 3 times, example. So how do you do that? Can anyone give like a short explanation how that would work? Try? No, not yet. Okay. Anyone try? Okay. So I shall do my version first. Okay. Can. Okay, so my version of this. Okay, so let's just write down in text what we need to do. Oh yes, I think my resolution is quite small. Smaller, bigger. Let's see. So what we need to do is to log the user. So I think I recall the last I said that we need to keep track of some information about the login process. Okay, go to this. So let's look at the user table first. Okay, so user table now I have user ID, username, password, first name, last name, nothing that tells me about whether the user has failed login before. So probably the first thing you need to do is to know what you want to store. So the rule is this: log user account for 30 minutes, right? If user fails login 3 times, okay. Okay, this rule is a rule. It's also a requirement, and when you go outside and do software development, some of them will call it a user story. Okay, so what you want to do is your system, which is the so-called actor, here needs to log the user account for 30 minutes if user fails login 3 times. You know that you need to keep track of a few things. So first of all, due to the 30 minutes involved, you need to keep track of the time that the user failed the last login. Okay, and another part here is the number of times a failed login happened. So for sure, you need to keep track of last failed login date and failed login count. Okay, so likely you need to have these 2 additional columns in your users table that whenever the user failed a login, you start setting up this adding number here. So this thing will start with 0. If user fails login, then you do a plus 1 plus 1. Okay. Now every time the user fails login, so when the person fails login the 3rd time, then you set this to the date time, right? And if the user comes in to try to log in again, you will not allow any authentication until the difference between the time now and this time is 30 minutes. So there's a bit of logic here. Also, the SQL statement for this is a bit tricky. Okay, so let's add the 2 columns in first. Okay, so the lazy way GUI. Okay, some of you have problem looking in this, right? Does anyone have a problem seeing the GUI for the columns? Like it doesn't show everything? Oh, it does, right? Okay. So I'm gonna add in failed. Okay, last failed login date. Okay, I'll put a date time. And then one more column is the failed login count. This will be integer. Default will be 0. Okay. Okay. So apply. So now that I have actually 2 new columns in my users table, that means I need to change my logic. So let's go to my Eclipse. So first thing first, inside the users Java, or actually the models, go to your models package and look at user model. So whenever I make changes in the database structure, I also need to update the user model as well. So here I'll start to update the columns, the 2 new columns I introduced. It's failed, so last failed login date, and the next one is integer failed login count. Okay, so date here, right? Need to import java.sql date. Yes. Okay. So import java.sql.date for this date, from this date type. Okay, next thing I need to do is, so I got my object. Now I need to write the logic. Okay, so we're gonna write the logic for this. So this is where business logic appears inside the services, this tier. So when does this happen? Okay, so right now what we have in user service, we have a get all, add, and a get integer, right? But we don't actually have a login yet. So this is in preparation for authentication, where you need to have a login soon. So let's just create a method here called login. So this will be a boolean, just create login or authenticate. Authenticate would supply me the username as well as the password. Okay. Oh, sorry. String should be capital S. Okay, so thinking about the return type. Okay, so typically if you do authentication, it's either a pass or fail. Okay, but maybe this time you want to be able to tell the user that that the account has been locked. So returning a true or false will not be good enough. So maybe what I will do is I will return the object. I'll call it login result. Okay. Now where is this login result? Of course, it doesn't exist yet, so I need to go to models to create this class. So the purpose of login result here is to allow me to add more more intuitive messages back to the Android app, so that you can actually tell the user that different scenarios for failing a login, like sometimes their account is locked or disabled. So I'll put it under models, a class called login result. So login result would basically have, of course, a boolean for result. So the result will be success or fail. So true for successful login, false for failed login. Okay. Then the next one will be message. So this is a very simple way of doing it. In some places, some projects, some people, in order to, let's say, manage the messages properly, instead of writing the actual message, they actually put a status, like a custom error code. Like 101 means this, 102 means that. And then they have a table full of error codes to actually show. Okay, so message for failed logins. So for now, you can actually do this, and let's say go into here, right? Okay, need to make sure I import my new class. So models dot login result. Okay, so let me create a login result object first, and return this result. And okay, so let's write in pseudocode. So here, check. So retrieve user by username. Okay. So here are the steps, the algorithm that you're gonna do. First step is to retrieve the user by username. Why not retrieve user by username and password? Okay. Now, if you retrieve user by username and password, it can be non-matching for two reasons. Username is wrong or password is wrong. Okay. If the username was correct but the password is wrong, that is what you're trying to catch, that failure login. But however, if someone gives you the right password for some coincidence matching someone else's password but the wrong username, that shouldn't be considered a failed login. What that will happen, it will cause another user to have a failed login. The user never actually tried login before. So instead of comparing in username password in database, we retrieve the username first, and then we compare the password. So if password is same, okay, continue, or generate token, right? So depending on what we want to do here. I think in this case, maybe continue, return true. Right? We'll do generate token in another method. Now else, if it's false, right? Increment failed login count by 1. Okay. So this is the basic logic. If the person fails login, you increment the count by 1. Now, what about the second part of the logic? Log for 30 minutes if the user failed login 3 times. Now, after incremented by 1, you check if failed login count is equal to 3, more than equal to 3. Okay. Set last failed login date to now. So this will fulfill the second part when the person fails login for 3 times. I set the failed login and I can now check for 30 minutes. So this is the setting of data. Okay. Now about the part where I say for 30 minutes the same user can log in. So going back to the first step, retrieve user by username. Before I compare password, I will check if user failed login count is more than or equal to 3, or maybe I don't need to. So if, let's say, last failed login date time difference. So if time difference of failed date and now is more than or equal to 30 minutes, continue. Okay. So when I retrieve a user by username, I'll check the last failed login date and now is it more than or equal to 30 minutes? If it is, I continue. Then I compare password and do all the stuff, right? Else, what do? Return false. Okay. So mainly the logic is like this. Let's go through the logic and see if there's any logical errors that will occur. Okay, so when we first set up the user, everyone would they have a value for last failed login date? Probably not, maybe a null value. Okay, so you have to take into account that how do you tell if the user never failed login before and can still continue logging in, right? So basically you don't need to do, you want to continue comparing passwords and doing the rest of this part if the user has not failed a login before. So here we're checking if the user has failed login. After 30 minutes, we need to check also if not. How do we know not? Okay, so let's say failed login count. Let's say I don't want to know whether in the user history how many times they failed login before. But anyway, I need to change that. So if failed login count is 0, I continue. So there are two conditions where I will compare password and continue checking. First condition is the person has never failed a login count before, right? The second condition is the time difference between the last failed login and now is more than 30 minutes. Okay, does it make sense? Zero or less than 3. Okay, correct. 0 or less than 3, that means it's less than 3. Yeah. So if the person has not failed login more than 3 times, you continue checking password and then okay. So let's say so how do you validate if this will work? You think of the scenario first. First scenario is user never failed login before. So failed login is initialized to 0. Okay, I don't care about last login date. So if it's 0, continue, compare password. If the person is successful, it will just return true, exit. Okay, now the person comes in again but failed, but enters it gives you a wrong password. So this part, no need to check. Failed login count still 0. I compare password. Now password is wrong, increment failed login count by 1. Okay, and then check this one not satisfied yet. Okay, of course must return false here. Okay, person tries again. Failed login count is 1. It goes through. Compare password. Okay, failed, increase to 2. Okay, this one doesn't pass, return false. Third time person come in. This is 2. Continue. Compare password. Wrong. Increase to 3. Now is more than equal 3. Set failed login password. Date time to now. Return false. Person come in again. I check. Now last failed login date and now, is it more than 30 minutes? No. Failed login count is more than 3. It's 3 already. Okay. So skip the whole thing. Return false. So 30 minutes later, I come in. This one, this condition fails, right? Last login and now, is it more than? Oh, okay, pass. More than 30 minutes. So I don't care about the other condition. I go inside, compare password. Now this time the user enters the correct password. Password is same. Continue, return true. Okay. Person logs in again. Last failed login date and this, more than 30 minutes. Compare password. Password is same. Continue true. Okay, if the person log in false, right? False, what happened? Increment failed login by 1. Just now was 3, now becomes 4. Okay, this one more than 3, set the time now. Return false. Okay, so after 30 minutes, if the person come in again and enters the correct password, so would anything wrong with the logic? It's better to reset, right? Otherwise the number keep increasing. Okay, so anytime that the person enters a new password, the password that is correct, okay, set failed login count to 0, and then after that return true. Okay, now does it make sense? Better? Okay, please remember these steps. Okay. Do you understand what we just went through? Okay, so whenever you write when you for those of you who don't really, first time coding, right? Most of the time, try to write something as simple as this. So we call it pseudocode. So it's something that I can understand. You read it's like English or it's like your own language. You understand it. Then you walk through your pseudocode with scenarios. So in order to make sure that your pseudocode works logically, you think of the different scenarios that this apply. For example, in this case, user login successful, user login later unsuccessful for 3 times. After that, 4th time successful, 4th time unsuccessful. What happens? So I can't tell you which way you're writing is the best, but I can tell you by doing this is the only way to find out whether your code works or not before you actually start writing it. Okay, so when you're quite confident that this pseudocode works based on the logic, then you start writing the Java code. Yeah. Then to test, there are a few ways. One is you actually test through the program, through Postman and do the testing. Another way to test testing is this thing called unit test. So unit test is basically writing code to test your code. Okay, so when you write a code and you test it physically, manually, you are the person testing it. So, but because we do this thing called retro testing, what is retro testing is when I change code, let's say I write this first time, right? Then the next time round I come and modify something else in the logic. Okay, the practice outside is whenever I modify something, I need to do retro testing. Retro testing means I go backwards and test everything again. Now imagine if you are the person physically tapping the app or running Postman, right? It's all repetitive work. So in computer science, we try to offload as much of repetitive work to a program or robot to do it for us. So in this case, you can do unit testing, write code to test your code, so that when you finish updating, you can actually run a set of code to actually tell you, oh, success, fail, or pass. So you don't need to spend time to tap through the program. Okay. So unit testing, you can go and read up on your own how what it can do, what kind of libraries are there to actually do this kind of unit testing. When I'm doing ASP.NET C#, I will use this thing called NUnit. Let me take this. Okay. So NUnit is one of the unit test libraries. Okay. So this is in C#. Now it actually happened to come from Java, which so NUnit for C#.NET for Java is JUnit. So JUnit is a library you can actually include in your Eclipse project to automatically test all the methods you wrote. Okay. So let's take a look at a bit of this. Then you can search on your own how this works actually. So of course there's the libraries you need to pull from Maven. Okay, since you saw Maven before. So let's look at writing tests. So this is a simple test code. So what this test code does is basically, this is the test method. So you have this thing called my first test and an assertion. So in unit testing, they have this thing called assertions. Assertion means does it validate true or false? So let's say I want to assert equals 2 1 plus 1. So the first parameter is what I expect to receive, what I expect the result to be. The second parameter is the actual computation or the function. So if I given let's say 1 plus 1, is it 2? That's what this means. So basically it will check, oh, if the second parameter operation equals to the first parameter, the value, then it will give you a true. Now if this fails, then you start registering some failed tests. And so it includes some kind of a console to tell you, oh, which test method failed. Then you can tell that, oh, this scenario, this test method, this thing of testing failed. Now how do we write this kind of test case? Every method here is equal, rule of thumb, every method here is equal to one scenario. So the purpose of unit testing is to break down your program, which is so many things, right, to test individual methods. So you can test at the service level whether this method authenticate works or not. Okay, based on the parameters you send in, does it give you the expected result? And you can test even at the repository level. Does your SQL methods, do they work properly based on the parameters? So you can do a lot of testing. The idea is that when you need to retest everything when you change your code, you can be confident to say that, oh, the program will validate for me whether it's working. So let's come back to the pseudo code here. So this segment of things is very important. Okay, other than it being important in a few weeks time, you need to actually write the Java code here. Okay, so we have a few things that we'll introduce. First of all, I have a retrieve user by username. Immediately you notice that you probably don't have this method in your user store. Let's go to user store. So okay, so here's a quick tip, right? If you want to see the methods you have in your class, just click the arrow here, expand it. Yeah, you can see, so Java Eclipse will actually show you the different methods you've written. So I have add user, get by integer, get all, check if username exists. Okay, so I don't have a method here that retrieve user by username, so let's need to create one inside user store. Now the get user by username will be very similar to this get by integer by ID. So I'm gonna just copy and paste. So you know in Java you know about method overloading. Okay, so method overloading is a technique whereby it's a thing that Java allows you to do to have the same method name, different parameters. Okay. Here I just need to swap this around, change the SQL this one set string. Okay, and then ID change it to username. Okay, other things I need to change this part here, user model. Okay, so as you keep on retrieving user data or updating user data, some things become a little bit repetitive here, especially the part, you know, I just added two properties to user model, so a lot of things here actually have to change, right? Otherwise I'll be missing stuff. Okay, so let me update here. Okay, there is a way to reduce all this typing, assigning, creating model, setting data. Okay, so if you're a bit more advanced in your coding, you've done it before, there's this method called object relational mapping, ORM. So let me show you what example this. So ORM Java, one of the libraries I used before, there's a port over from Java to C# called Hibernate, and C# is called nhibernate because ASP.NET N, so in Java it's called Hibernate ORM. Okay, so you know all this irritating or rather mundane part of I need to set get all the methods, right? All the set and get all the property every time I change the structure. So all this can be actually reduced by having tools like Hibernate. Now in fact it does more than just mapping the object to your classes to the database. It actually also allows you to do your SQL queries in a method-based kind of format. So instead of writing SQL, you actually follow an API to retrieve users based on criteria. Now the good thing is that you don't need to learn SQL to retrieve data. The other thing about it is that you're limited by what they provide. Okay, and some people also argue that the performance may not be that good, but it is actually faster to code with tools like that. So since I already updated this, make sure I also update this part when I add a user. Okay, so going back to add user, set integer. It means I need to also include this. Is it like ed or no ed? Oh, ed. Past tense. Okay, so the 5 is my field login count 0. Subdate 6. Okay, can I be naughty and put a null? I think so. Can say, let's see, this should work. Okay, so I have a get user name, so let's retrieve a user model. So here by username. So first part, get user by username, done. Now I need to check the time difference of last field login date, and now it's more than 30 minutes field login count. So if statement, user.field login count if it's less than 3, or okay, user.field last field date. Okay, so date time now difference 30 minutes. Okay, instead of, let's see, I'm so used to shortcut methods that will give me differences that I'm trying to find one now. Okay, let me see, can I subtract? Maybe I use this UTC get time. Okay, how to do this? Okay, I'm very used to libraries. Java date. Okay, so if you didn't have a library to do this, how you okay, also let's say first case, I don't have a library to go and calculate difference in time. I need to do it manually. How to do it? Okay, so first of all, date time differences. Date time could give you day, month, year, hour, minute, second, but I only need 30 minutes difference. Okay, so how do you get a difference between two dates? Okay, so there's no subtract method here. Get difference between two dates. So, however, you can always convert the entire date time of year, month, date, hour, minute, second to seconds since 1970 January, 1st of January, which is called epoch. So you also call this a Unix timestamp. So basically, your whole time in the computer can be converted to seconds. And then the idea is you take the first second and the now, and then take the difference, and you divide by 60, divide by 60 to get your minutes. Okay, so that's one way to calculate date time difference. I'm not sure if other ways are there available. Okay, some people will say, I think there might be some utility libraries, right? Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, because 60 seconds 1 minute, right? So 30 minutes is, yeah. Okay, but this is examples are based on strings. So if you are given two strings, you can do conversion through simple date format, and then you do the difference. See? So the key method we'll be using is this thing called get time. Now, when you key in the date type, Java will automatically give you options. So I'm going to use get time. So I'm going to take now. So how do I get now? New date. Create a new .java.sql.date. Get time. Okay. Wait. Okay, maybe it's too messy doing here. So time difference seconds. So let me break it down easier. Last field login time. So let me pull this out. It's easier to read also. Now time. Okay. Must be long. Okay. Sorry, long. Okay, take away this. Okay, so oh, I can't do this. Oh, okay. Oops. What did I do? Java.sql.date. Just want to get now. Does anyone know how to get the date time now? Let me import the Java class first. Can't do that. Okay. Current time. Instant now. Okay. Right. Why do they do all these kind of things? Okay. Java time, blah blah blah. Ish. Okay. Instant now. Okay. Shish. Okay, what is instant now? Instant now is what? Instant now is a clock. Obtain the current instant from time. Okay. Get epoch seconds. Yes, this one. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Also the fast. Okay. So instant is instantaneous point in the timeline. That means now. So instant.now gives me a current system clock, which is your computer clock now at this point. But I need the so-called time. So they provide this method called get epoch second, which is starts from number of seconds since 1970 0101, which is the same as different get time milliseconds. So get epoch seconds gives me in seconds, get time gives me in milliseconds. 1 second is how many milliseconds? Anybody? 1 second, how many milliseconds? 1000. Okay. Okay. So now time times 1000. Which do you think is better? Should I times 1000 convert the epoch second to milliseconds or convert the time to seconds? Not epoch lah. Okay, so the random question. So which do you think is better? Converting, so I got one value in milliseconds, the other in seconds. Which one should I convert to? Should I convert both to milliseconds or convert the milliseconds to seconds? Milliseconds, seconds, right? Because if I convert the second to milliseconds, I would lose precision. Okay, so milliseconds divided by 1000. Okay. I'll probably do the math silly here. Wait. Cast it too long. Okay, so generally that's the idea. So don't need this. So basically, now I need to find out minutes, right? Minutes difference. So minutes difference will be now time minus last filled login time, the whole thing, because right now it's in seconds, divided by 60. Okay, of do a rough math ceiling on this, and then convert it to integer. Okay, make sure brackets are correct here. Wait. Oh, I already have that. Okay. So I calculate the means difference and then do a test here. Or this one more than equal to 30. Okay. Now, so user field count is, if it fails this condition, I will return false, right? Which means I will set result false, message user log for 30 minutes due to 3 failed logins. Right. Okay. So if it passes, compare password, right? So compare password if user.password is equal to or dot equals password. Okay. Continue. Okay. Now, whenever this is true, I need to set failed login count to 0 and then return true. So set this to 0. Result set to true. Okay, no messages. Else, what's gonna happen? Increment the failed login count by 1. So the short form for equals something plus 1 is to put double plus. Okay, so normally you would have done this. Okay, you can also equivalent reduce the plus by doing this plus plus. Okay. Here you check if user.failed login count is more than equal to 3, you need to set the login time to null. So last login date is equal to instant now okay. Now the instant now is a bit different now. Instant to date. How do I change this to, because I want to have a SQL date. Java C. Oh, okay. Must send in the milliseconds. Oh, okay. So new date in this one value, which is your get time. Okay. this one can do. So instant now get second. Now get second unfortunately is seconds, but I need milliseconds. Oh, they also have a method called to epoch milliseconds. So actually just now if you wanted to be really accurate without doing this one can use get epoch milli. Then you don't need to divide by 1000 here. Okay, however, here I'll need to adjust. Okay, so take note just now when I did to epoch seconds and I did a conversion by converting the milliseconds to seconds. Now there's a method here that I can get milliseconds immediately from instant. So if you do that, means when you calculate the time difference, everything's in milliseconds. So to get minutes, you need to divide by 1000 times 60, or rather divide by 60,000 to give you the minutes difference. So that is done in the part. So what will we have here? Now if the user failed the login count, anytime the user failed the login count, let's set the result to false and include a message, wrong password. Now for the case where the user actually hit the part where they have more than three attempts failed, 3 failed attempts. So here we'll just say count log for 30 minutes due to 3 failed attempts. Okay. So this is generally how you get it done. Now there's one more step here. So I've actually checked username password, I've set the failed login count, I've set the last failed login date. Eventually I need to save the user back to the database before I return the result. So here I'll do store dot update. So when do I save the user? Okay, when I have modified data. So at the part here where I set, when I change the failed login count and also set the date, at the end of it I need to update the user. So is that update? No, there's no update user. So let's create an update user method here. So let's see. So you need an update user method in your user store. So here is update. I'll pass in the user model. First thing is get connection. Okay. And then try and catch. So you need to construct your statement for updating. Good chance for you to recall what is your SQL for updating. And also remember what the libraries you need to use, like a prepared statement. So when you update a user, you have to be very careful what you want to update and what you do not want to update. For example, user ID shouldn't be updated at any point in time. Okay. Password, yes. Username, maybe. Okay. Now what does I say username maybe? because when we're trying to do modify users, we try to as much keep username as unique as possible. So maybe in this update method there isn't a username update because you need to actually check if the new username is actually found in the database before update. So we're going to do a very conservative kind of update. I'm going to only update a few key fields. First name. So first name I'll update. Last name I will update. So this is a generic update, but password will be updated as well, or not. So let's do a generic update that doesn't update sensitive information like username and password. Field login count. I'll update. Last field login date. I'll update that also. Where user ID is equals to that value. Okay. So after you had the statement, time to do all the set values. So set string, first one, user the first name, last name, say teacher, set date. Okay, then set last parameter, 5 to user ID. Okay. End of the whole thing, do a execute. Okay. So now go back to user service, store, I want to update, pass the user in. Okay, so that's done. Now, since I have authenticate, what is this used for? Under the resources, user Java. So the user Java will definitely have a separate method for authenticating a user. So this would definitely be like something like a post or authenticate user. What would I send? Okay. So I'll send a user model. So I'll spec a request JSON, username and password. So this will be a post. Now the path will be interesting. Okay, so I have a lot of other paths here, right? I have under users get posts, get one, get user location. So I make sure I don't mess up with the rest of this. What I will do is, okay, so special case, so how do you call this method? So users authenticate. Then the object will be a JSON object. So put in consumes. Okay. So here I will do, so I'll need login result. From my service called authenticate, pass in user.username and user.password. And then whatever the response is, return OK with the entity. Okay, so this one I need to import this guy and I'm done. So this will be my simple authenticate method that will check, and the third time it will fail the user. Okay, so let's test it out. Oh, who's the one who mentioned you'll be using Hibernate? Oh, you mentioned you'll be using Hibernate for your assignment. No? That's someone only. Hibernate, you didn't use Hibernate, right? Okay. You used it before? Have you used it before? Easier, right? Okay, so publish already. Let's test. Okay, so let me take a look at my table. Who am I going to use? Okay, I think I should clean up the table a bit. Okay, let's remove some users that shouldn't have duplicate username there. I'll take away number 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, don't have this. Okay. Okay. How come I can't see my table? Dang. Okay, this is a very weird bug I have on my system. I can't see a table one. Okay, never mind. Let's go to that's my app. Taxi. Okay, never mind. I got API. I can get. I can see from API. Right? Okay. 1, 2, Tan. Hey, all the tans are still there.
No. Just now those was 4 tan.
Still there.
Still there?
User 1, user 2. Tan.
Oh, user ID
Never mind.
5, yeah, still there.
Okay. Can I delete user? No, not an API. Okay, delete star, delete from users. Where username is equal to Jitan. 4 row affected. Okay. Okay, no more Jitan. Something. Okay, only Jitan here. Okay, so let's try Tana. Okay, so we'll do a post, right? Authenticate. So this authenticate is not an off, nothing. It's just to check username and password. So what I'm gonna send? I'm gonna send raw. Use JSON. The username is okay. Jitan something. 1980. Okay, Jitan 1980. Password. Any of you doing this on your computer? Oh, okay. I don't listen. If you are typing, you cannot listen.
cannot
No,
multitask.
okay, if you're typing, you cannot look on the board. Neck very pain. Okay, okay, all right. Something happened here. Let's see. Wow, the error very chim. Okay, take a look at the console. Let's see. You should get the laptop standy incline also. The flat one expand. Okay. You know it's like cinema, you sit in front, right? Your head will tilt back, right? Okay. No, I'm not giving you reason to sit behind. Okay, so what happened? What happened? Why do I have a 500 error? I recognize your username. Oh, okay. Classical error. No, yes. Username. Why do I have a username? Marked as not ignorable. Not ignorable. Okay. Okay, this is new. Okay, so this error is coming from Jackson. Jackson is doing conversion of object to JSON, JSON to object. Okay, so it has to do with, so it cannot recognize username. Not marked as ignorable. What does that mean?
Yours your capital U.
And capital P. Still wrong. Okay. But different error now. Now pointer exception. Oh, okay. Line 37 in user service. Okay. So this thing here is called a stack trace, which tells you which line of your code you have a problem. Like this case, get time. Okay. So naturally get time has a problem because it's null. Okay, so Java has this issue with null. Or rather, okay, before you do some things, especially date time or even numbers, it's always best to check whether there's a null value or not. Okay. Sometimes I will do this. Okay, what am I doing? Okay. So, okay, let me. Normally you write if then else statement like this, right? If a is equal to 0, 1, right? Correct? Okay. So so this is a if a equal 1, b equal 2. I can write this in one line by doing this. Sorry, this should be equal. Okay. Okay, so this is your classical if then if statement. This is your one line shorthand method. Okay, what's going on? Okay, the part before the question mark is the if statement. Okay, the first value is this is true. The second one if it is false. Okay, so if you see something like this, it's not a stack error. It's a shorthand method writing if then else. Otherwise, you can write as this lah. Okay. Okay. So sometimes I have a habit of writing things in one line lah. Let me write the simpler one for you all. Okay. So I'm gonna set this to 0. Okay. Then I'll do a if. So basically, if it's not now, don't do anything. No, if it's not now, do that thing. If it's now, don't do anything. That's what I mean to do. So I can avoid the now error that just happened. Okay. So say shorthand if else. Okay. Back to business. Publish. Send. Still error. Oh, message class. Okay. Forgot to do something very important. So can anybody tell me what I've missed out here in web services? Where? Okay. Look at the error message here. What does it tell you?
Your JSON is,
Why does it complain there's XML?
you already say you want to consume,
I already say I want consumer, but what about what I'm going to return?
produce.
Yeah, correct. Okay. There are two ways lah. So depending on what you want to return, in this case I'm returning an object login result. So if you don't say anything, Java will try to think it's XML. In this case so I have to specify it's a JSON. And try again. Works. Okay, so Tan is good. He's still good Okay, now try to turn something else. So now I'm going to try a case whereby Tan is not so good. Wrong password. Let's check the database. Oh, no need check the database. Get a user can see also. Okay, did this update? Oh, no, it didn't. Supposed to update.
Yeah.
Why? Was there error? No. No exception here. Okay, what went wrong? Let's go to user service. So, password not equals. Go to else. Result false, message wrong password. It definitely did this because I got this message back. Increase field count. Done. Store update user. Something went wrong. So, likely the problem happened here. Update user. Let's do a console print line e stack trace inside this. So whenever I do a stack trace, it will normally appear in the console screen. If not, I can go to debug mode and check it also. Okay, let's try this. So I suspect the problem is with user field login date. Okay, so user field login date, that's the fourth parameter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last field login date. Could there be a problem with this? Because I haven't set a date yet. Have I? I only set a date when it's more than equal to 3. So let's take a look. Do a send. False. Check my console. Definitely error. Where did the error come from? Database exception. User. Oh, wrong table name.
Users.
Very unspectacular error, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so simple things like this, like typing a wrong name can happen. So it's common. Okay, wrong password. Now check. Still not anything up. Anything? Nothing? Okay, so strangely, his field login count didn't increase. Let's check the database. Maybe the web service is not truthful, right? Okay. Something's wrong with my MySQL Workbench. Okay, so let's start from user. 3 rows return. It doesn't show me the thing. Definitely something wrong with my database. Okay. I'm gonna use another way to get in, because my MySQL not working. Okay, this is my other database too.
But pointing to the same database.
Yes. Oh, no password. God. Okay. Okay. Similar to MySQL, but at least I see things there. Okay, browse. One. Okay, so database does record it, failed login count as 1, but my endpoint don't return properly. Guess what happened? Okay, so when I added the 2 new columns, the 2 new properties, whenever I do anything like get, update, delete, I also need to update the code. Because in this current way of doing things, you have to manually assign the values into your objects when you get it back. Okay. So here is missing the part where I set the values to return. Of course, if Hibernate, you definitely shouldn't have this kind of issues. Okay, so let's publish. Now, turn 1. So I'm going to log in wrong again. One more time. 2. Third time. 3 failed attempts. Last failed login date. But there's a problem. No time. Right? Yes. No problem. Okay, small problem to solve. When I did the update user, okay, what sent into the database was something likely without time. Now, is it true it doesn't have time? Let's refresh this and see what's being installed. So I'll have all date, no time. So it will never be more, it will always be, oh no, it's worse actually. Okay, so let's fix this. Now, where do I set the date time? I set it in here. So last field login date, new date. I have the epoch milli. I assign a new date, but what I got was only the date, no time. So what is the problem? Could it be the date type? So take a look at users, columns. So let's look at the structure. Date time. So it should include time, right? No reason not to. So it's not a database problem. It's probably the way this thing gives me the date in here. Okay. So does anyone have a solution how you should store the date time also? The variable, right? This one, the user type, right? Inside user model. Date. Not necessarily date time. Okay. Well, technically it should be date time. Okay, let's take a look at something else. Pickup location model has date added. Let's take a look at pickup location, right? Okay, so date type. The date type here is correct, but the method to store it using new date instant now to this doesn't give me the time element. Okay. Well, anyone got a solution for this? Hmm? Two lines, two lines. One for time, right? Separate thing to store time, right? Okay. So there's this thing called timestamp. Is it true? Timestamp. Okay, let's just take a look at some of the stuff, right? So pickup location store actually provides timestamp date added. Okay, let me take a look at adding a location. Okay. Somehow when I add location with this, I get time. Let's try again. No time.
Do we have to define the format? Like just now, yeah. YYYY/MN/HH. Simple date format.
Simple date format. Maybe. See. Java SQL date. No time stop. So some users say use timestamp instead. Util date, simple, current time. So what does this person do? Utility date, convert this to simple time format, and then set as a current time. Okay, so let me try this. So when I update, what do? I do set date, right? What if I use set string? But this has to be a string, right? Okay, so try this. So I'm going to use this text simple, format this, okay, and then I do format from date time. Okay, So what I'm going to do is based on, so this is the format on the save in DB, which looks a lot like the one in the database. I format it and save it there. Let's see if it works out. Save changes, yes, publish. Okay. Okay, maybe I should do some reset, right? Okay, let's reset the user. Because you got a database, 0, go. So technically if it's 0, it should be working, right? Okay. Okay. Wrong password. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just now was yeah, 8, 23, 18 seconds. Just now. Okay. So let's play God again. I don't wait 30 minutes. $19. Okay. So now I'm gonna, so 719. So first scenario, failed 3 times. After 30 minutes, I do this. So if it fails this time right now, what will change?
The count.
Will the count change to 1?
Yes.
Or 4? Yeah. Fail is 1. It's still locked. Okay. Let's see. So the time updated. This one became 4. Hmm? Not equal. Now as in.
Now. NUL.
NUL now. Okay. So what happened here, right? User service. So it's not equal now, then I get a time, right? Last field, login field time. But I changed the time in the database to 7:23, 1 hour earlier. So time will be more than 30 minutes. However, user count in the database was still 3. Yes. So that's why I skip here, right? So this one pass, this one fail because it's more than 3, right? So you go in. This one fail, right? Then did this part. Now the problem is this one, because previously was 3, plus become 4, I get this message again. Okay. So it's locked. Should the user be locked? No, because you reset the counter again. So we know you reset the counter when you get the right password, but you also need to reset the counter somewhere here. After 30 minutes, yes. So after 30 minutes, you have to reset the counter. So before I add the counter here, I need to check if this is more than 30 minutes, reset the counter to 0. Or should I do it regardless? Now it's 4 already, right? So I need to set to, let me try a scenario again. Okay, but should we reset the failed count if the time is more than 30 minutes? Anytime. Okay, so as long as past 30 minutes, the failed count should reset to 0, regardless. Okay, let's restart the scenario. Edit this. Okay, doesn't let me do something very naughty. Let's try. No. Yeah, this one forces me to do that. Okay. So set Does failed login when is it last failed login date or set to now? Eh, what happened? Okay. Okay. Reset the scenario. Let's and send the wrong username again. Wrong password one time, two time, three time. Cause I never publish it. Okay. Check the user. Huh? Wrong password one time. Mm. Every time match. Every time match is set to 0. Because this value is more than always more than 30. So if we do it only here, mm? So more than 30 minutes. So minutes difference if I want to reset failed login count. Okay, I need to reset the failed login count. Otherwise, if it fail 3 times, it will keep on failing. 4, 5, 6. Mm, mm. Okay, definitely when you launch it for the first time, everything is reset to 0. So the user were to log in 3 times fail, then we need to lock the user for 30 minutes. So they cannot log in for 30 minutes. Uh, so when the fourth time they come in, if it's within the 30 minutes and it's a correct password, everything reset to 0, continue. But if it's a wrong password again, they should reset the counter, start again from 0, and then continue counting again. Mm. 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 So it's when do you reset the counter to 0? After the message now. Here. Inside. So the moment they hit 3, show the message set back to 0. Then after that, you will check based on the time only. Time and check the login count also. Yes. Mm. So if there are more than 3, right, I'll skip the whole thing and lock. But if it's less than 3, then I'll check also the difference. Okay. So first time counter should increase. No, but counter never increase now. Is something else a problem? Because it counter did increase the first time round. Okay, when we try to update the user, last login failed date was now. Error come from this part when you try to convert. See? So when I'm updating the user, so because when a user failed login, I will increment the count, then I'll update the user. When I update the user at a point in time, I'm also updating the last failed login date. But what is happening there is, yeah, right now the last login failed date is now. Is it okay? When I come here, I try to convert it using this, then it fails. So let's say when I keep it now, only when not equal now, then you do this. Because we're trying to save the date as a string into MySQL to save the time also. Okay. So let's say I check if it's a null value, then I'll save a null inside. I don't do the date conversion. Okay, one time. Second time. Third time. Account log. Here with time. Okay. Now I want to do the fourth time after 30 minutes. Fourth time. Change this to 15. Okay. Fourth time. Reset back to 1. Fifth time 2. Okay. So now I log again. But after that, so now log again. What happened? This one reset, right? And then based on this time to match already. So I try to send. Wrong password. Okay. That's because start counting again. Still not correct, right? Logic.
Still not correct. It's still
Okay. So anyone got a better idea? Okay. So anyone got a better idea how this logic should work? So just after the third time when I log in again, it reset back to 0, right? So it's locked. Okay, so the moment it locked, the rule is after it's locked, I don't need to check or update anything until 30 minutes is over. Yeah. You need to control it. Okay, so if I need to prevent a failed login count, I want to reset failed login count if the person person get right password, reset the login count. After 30 minutes, don't care right password, wrong password, reset login count first. So should I put it back in front here? It means I don't care if the person actually before wrong or right password. As long as more than 30 minutes, I reset the count. Yeah. So let's update the TV again. One, two, and three. So this is the original problem, right?
Only one.
Okay. Okay, so that's what happening here. Okay, one. Still one. Because this one keep on running, right? Then plus one. So this one always run because this one is always true. Okay, minus difference more than 30 is always true because less than 3 if yes less than if it's less than equal 3 I continue. No, right? Less than 4. Then becomes 4 locking then lock. Fourth time not allowed, right? Until the time, right? Do you think there's any problem with minutes difference? Okay, let's don't change this part, right? Do you think there's any problem with minutes difference? The way it's calculated. It's taking now time minus last field login time. Last field login time will only have a valid value if the user have a failed login time before. Otherwise, it's always 0. And if now minus 0 will always be more than 30, means this will always reset to 0. Okay. So when do you do this? There must be proof that the person had a last field login date, correct? This must be more than 0. Because only when the person had a last field login date, then you will check the time. Okay, so now I check 1, 2, okay, the time ready. I go in again. It's still set.
Again.
Because now is no time inside. Okay, this one. Not open now. Then I format save. Okay. clear this first. Not perpetually this, because it's time, right? So last field login date went in as without time. Okay, this should be fine, but this is not okay. So let's say set this. Let me reset the data. Two. This one. Second one. Third one. Okay, I want to find out, did it store the time? Okay, it did. Okay. So now if I call again, immediately within the last 30 minutes. Okay, so what happened? First of all, this reset to 0, then plus 1. Okay, that means this thing happened. And then this happened, and then reset to, and then this happened and increase 1. Okay. Same time it also changed the date to this without time again, right? So when I retrieve the user at this point in time, and I didn't modify the value, I save it back. So if this works, it means the part when I get the user, it didn't give me the time. So when I do get date here, I lost the time. Can you change? Okay. So Java date time lesson. A lot of things to do. So when getting date time, okay, let's read get date, right? Returns date object. Okay, now the problem with this is somehow I don't get the time element. But if I were to do a get timestamp, okay, they will return me something else called timestamp. So I need to do something like this part where it returns me something and I format into date time. So what would be better is, instead of getting it as a date, I get as a string. Okay, so I get it as a string, but I also need this guy, right, to format. Now, so that means I do a SDF. So here is dot format, right? So dot pass. So normally when you see so format is from object to so-called, it's like output. Okay, in something, out the text. When you do a reverse, it's normally called pass. So I do a pass. Okay, typically set this in here. Wait, okay. pass. Okay. Wait, do I need to do something else? No. Let me check the documentation. Pass. Java simple date format pass. Okay, parser. Okay, this is the thing. Parser input becomes date. Really? So here I need to cast it as a Java date. Nope. New. Okay. Another irritating thing. Java date to 0.date. Java SQL date. Take time. Okay, fine. Get time. SQL.date. Okay, so in order to pass the date properly, you also need to import. I also need to import the Java SQL date. So pass the string, do get time, pass into the SQL date to give me that proper date time format. Okay, let's reset the date again, the data again. Okay, send 1. 2, 3, log. Okay, 4th time. Okay, this one never move, but this one reset. So this went through. When all else fails, go into debug mode. Okay, so I'm going to start debugging from this point. Okay, so I suspect the problem happened with a calculation of minutes difference. So let's see what we get. So step over. So we get user, okay. Alright. So here I check. Okay, then it calculates the last login field time. So now there's a value here. 15 something, right? Okay, so get the time now. Time now is this. And then calculate the difference in minutes. 9660. Okay, so our minutes difference is wrong, obviously. So we're supposed to take the now time minus this, okay, divide by 1000 times 60. Should it be this? Okay, so what happened now? So let's say I have a number 5000 divided by 100 times 10. What's the answer? So do a divide first, right? 500 okay. This is different from this right? Okay. So what happened just now when we calculate 1000 times 60 actually should be in the bracket. So they does 60k first. Yes. Yeah, so the value is always more than 30. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, now it's officially locked for 30 minutes. Okay, I call again. I'm still locked for 30 minutes. Okay, anything change here? Nothing change here. Now I change this to 1 hour ago. Okay. So if I am still getting a wrong using password, it will reset to 0, count again 1. Second time, third time log again, not logging. Okay, so what happened? So although I sent the wrong password again 3 times, it didn't log. It didn't increase the number here at all. Because this one is more than 30 minutes. So after the first time round, it actually, so here forever it will go back to 1. See, okay. So forever start at 1. Means it reset and then add 1 again. So minutes difference, okay, so what happened? Failed login count true. Minutes difference is also more than 30 because this is 7:55. Okay, so what if when we do the reset, right? We also need to set this as now. So the idea of setting it now and 0 is that you reset the 0, you also should reset the take time to now. So you treat the after 30 minutes as a fresh, so-called fresh start again. Okay, so now if I do a send, let's see what happens. Okay, reset. Second time, third time, lock. Fourth time, continue locking. So this is a lock time. Okay, so I reverse it 1 hour earlier. Okay, so after 1 hour, the person decided to log in again, but still wrong password. It should reset, right? This should be 1. This timing should be now. And if I do continuously do again the wrong password 3 times, I'll log in. Okay, now I'm gonna give the right password. Successful. Counter should be reset. No reset yet. Okay. If it's successful, both should reset, right? Okay. That means this line of code will set 0 and all that. Right? Okay. Which also means I should update the user here. Correct. Yeah. Okay. Log. Wait 30 minutes. Because you wrong already, right? After that, I don't care whether wrong or right password, I lock you out, right? Yep. Okay. 1 hour ago. Okay, reset. And got. Yes, now reset already. Okay, finally. Okay. Okay, so is this code very long? Tedious, tedious. Okay, so what's the lesson learned from this? Normally not so easy, right? Is it? Okay. Okay, so basically it just means that you need to take time to test and test. Sometimes your pen and paper, the what you go through your mind may not work, may not be accurate, so you need to test again. And then you have all this debugging, you look at stack trace, you look at Google, you go and open the debug mode, go and see the value. Yeah. So most of the time when you code, you will encounter obstacles, and then this is how you get around it. Okay. It takes time. Yes, we spend I think 1 hour just doing this debugging. Okay, very normal. Yeah, really very normal. I'm not even so 准 one, okay? Yeah. Okay. So last half an hour. You all choose. You all want to continue? I will do basic authentication. Or you all brain shut already, you want to go back home? Hmm? Next week. Still got time. Yeah, next week is 2nd, 9. 16 is the exam. 9 is the interview for yours. This assignment. So next week is the last week.
What are the other functions we need to add into this assignment too?
Huh?
This assignment too.
Okay, so what is missing here, right? The endpoint for returning you the taxi statistic, the estimated waiting time, probability, all those things, right? Endpoint for returning data. Okay, the function will provide the database. You just need to have the resource. So right now, right, we have the resource for pickup location user. We need one more resource for the taxi statistics, right?
That will be provided to us.
That will be done through the formula. Okay. Then what other thing missing? Authentication, OAuth or basic. Okay, simple one is basic authentication because every time you pass in, you check, right? Okay. Technically, what we've done now, right, is we've done basic authentication. We've done part of the basic authentication already through the authenticate method, right? You only need the part where you check the header, get the header, the so-called the middleman, the middleman app, and then after that return the response. So your taxi application here, so there should be one more class inside app called the filter, authentication filter. That one you write the code will check the incoming username password and then return. So that one is missing. API versioning, that one is add-on feature, should be easy to do. Should be right. Wow, don't like that. Okay. Okay, so API versioning in one of the resources, you need to demonstrate that you need to create one more package here, which is called V2 or V3 or something like that. Okay, say V2. Okay, and choose one pickup location or users to be the resource that will have a new, maybe more parameters or a new feature under the V2 package. That's the API versioning. Content negotiation, even easier. You know how to do content negotiation here? Okay. So content negotiation, basically, okay, let me do the, can? Oh, okay. Okay, who need to go toilet? I'll show the easy one lah. Easiest one line settle. After the toilet. Okay, after 10 minutes break, the easiest thing to do, right, will settle one feature in your assignment 2. One liner can settle.
How is the Tuesday class and your this link together? I mean, the Tuesday class, our app is to find create the app to go to search for a taxi. Then how to link up yours to.
Okay. You want to show on the spot, right?
Yeah. So at least we have a rough idea how what is
Supposed to be independent.
If you can,
For our interest is like we want to know how we can link.
if you want to link up, right? Can. Okay, so there's this program I was telling everyone about called ngrok.
You see in the video, yeah, it done already.
Recorded the video. Okay, if you want to demo your Android app using your computer as a server, the web services, you can use this program called ngrok. Ngrok lah. Okay, so you download the file, exe file, then you just need to type this command, ngrok http the value. What it does, it will turn your yes, when still recording. So it will turn your computer into a server on the internet. Okay, so let me find my ngrok program somewhere. Okay, so right now I'm running my Glassfish, right? So make sure before I start, start your Glassfish first. Okay. Then I start the program. I download the file again. Run. Okay, the account is not necessary. You can just go to download, skip the account lah. So the part here, your account is sort of like they will ask you to want to upgrade to a paid plan. Never mind, don't need that. Okay, so all you need to do is go download this exe file and zip it anywhere. Okay, and then of course you need to go to your command prompt. Okay, so let's go to my command prompt. Okay, so in your command prompt, you're supposed to go to the folder where you downloaded the file, right? ng. Okay, so I put in my ngrok folder. Okay, so to run this program, you just type ngrok http et, right? Okay, so the command when you type it, so the first one is ngrok, then then http followed by the port you want to map your internal port to. So what do I mean? So my Glassfish is running on port 8080, right? Okay, so I must type in 8080 here. So what it does is says I'm telling ngrok I want my port 8080 to be mapped to the internet outside as port 80. Okay, so there's a web interface that provide at 4040. Let me go to 40. So we go to your localhost. You will see ngrok's so-called admin panel. It will show you what's the URL for your web service or your server. Okay, so I click on this link now. I'll get my Glassfish page up. Okay, if I copy this link and go to my Postman, instead of localhost 8080, I paste this inside. Move that one in front, and I try to do authenticate. Okay, it will work lah. If you try Postman and try to authenticate my web service, it will work also. Okay, so this is step 1. Step 2 will be inside Android app. You need, when you call a web service, you need to be able to configure to point to here. Okay, I will advise that you have an activity screen allocated just to have a text box. So because when you every time you run ngrok, right, it will give you a different number in front. It's not fixed one because it's free lah. Okay, so I suggest in your Android app you have one activity screen where you have one text box for you to key in the front part of the URL, so that when you call, you will use that one to call your computer server. Okay. Prototyping. Okay, real world don't do this kind of thing. Real world, you're supposed to upload your thing, your project to a server, and then your server has an IP address, that you hit the IP address for your web services. Yeah. Okay.
So for assignment 2, for submission, we more of like zip up the Eclipse project
and the database. Yes.
And what we are doing while we are doing the development, testing using Postman.
That's all. That's your part. So unless you want to time with your Android app from Tuesday's lesson, right, then you want to use ngrok to do that kind of testing. Yeah, it's more dynamic, right? Because your app, you can actually send data, receive data. Yes. So if you want to make my life easy, you can use Postman to store all these URLs, and then later just do a so this one you can actually export and zip this additional Postman, they call it collection. Okay, here comes a one line feature. Okay, content negotiation. Content negotiation is the simplest thing to put in your project anywhere you want. Easiest place to put this is when you do a get. Example, pickup locations. So get user pickup location, you want to showcase that you can do content negotiation. All you need to do is go to this line that says producers. This is one of the example. So producers allows you to key in more than one type of data inside. I can do this. Now what is missing? So remember my slides, content negotiation,
Yes,
the weightage, the QS, right? Okay. I also cannot remember what's exactly. Okay, so Java produces content negotiation. So the QS score, the score that you need to put into the annotation, will enable a content negotiation. Okay, so Java does a lot of the work for you, because the moment you say XML, then you will not use the Jackson. Okay, so QS equal, okay, QS equal is the key value. QS equal higher value means first priority. Lower value is lower priority. Values between 0 to 1. Yeah. Okay, let me start. Okay, so by having one line here, you have content negotiation. Easiest way to do this. Okay.
It's not saved in your project.
Yes, it's safe in the project. Okay. So now when we go to get users pick allocation. So button. Oh, still publishing. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Oh, great. Now I cannot find my server. Okay, well, server is running. Never mind. API versioning, next simplest thing to do. Half simple, half simple. Okay, so let's say I want to have a newer version of one of the methods inside pickup location. Example, so maybe I have a search. So not search. I want part API versioning should be based on exact same method, but different version. Okay. 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 So say example, my post add pickup location. Now I include the ability to add tagging or color, add color. So one more property called color. So, but I don't want to keep, I still want to keep the original without color. Okay. So what happens if I want to create a new version of this pickup location? I go to source. So the idea of API versioning is I kind of duplicate my class. Okay, same name, but in the package I put in a slightly different place. Okay, let me refresh this one. Okay, so what happened? You will see that I got a resources v2. So any V2 resources are parked inside here. The name is exactly the same as the original name there. Okay. So even the path is the same. Okay. So maybe this is my method that I want to duplicate. Now the path, okay, sorry, my mistake. Path is not the same. Path is different. So either you V2 behind in front or behind. Okay, so usually in front. V2 then pick up locations. Then followed by method. So what it means, what is happening is that I have a V2 of post location. I also have my first version of post location. So in order to call the V2, I just need to call V2 slash pickup location post. Okay, same method signature. The name of the method is the same. The parameter here may be different. So maybe this one I can add color. So maybe my pickup location model has an additional value, additional property called color. Okay, different from this guy. Or maybe here I return something differently, the result. Okay, so this is your API versioning. Second simplest thing to add in. Okay, yeah. The rest of what you add is your imagination really.
So this one, our own decision on what we want to add in
Yeah,
the version.
correct. What you want, which method you want to modify. So at least show me at least one method that you want to do a API versioning on. Okay, so very quickly, next lesson is authentication. Okay, so if you refer to our weather API that we've been doing, or going through the practical, there's one thing here you can copy over. Okay, minus that. See. Okay, basic authentication filter.java. You can almost copy the entire thing over into your project under Taxi app. After you copy over, what you need to change is the package. Number one. Number two, you need to change is the part when it need update the part. Actually not change, but update the part. Is user allowed. So instead of here hard coding this, you need to call the method that we wrote just now under services, user service, call authenticate. So here instead of checking this, you just need to call authenticate. It gives you a true, then you reset is allowed to the result of login result. So that's why today that authenticate is half the thing done already. The rest of this part you just need to copy intelligently over. Don't copy blindly lah. Copy intelligently. Okay. So far okay. So your homework is to copy intelligently basic authentication filter Java into your new project. And then integrate this part here with the new user service authenticate. Simple. Try.
Always sound like simple.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Okay. You realize I haven't even talked about the calculation for the taxi stuff, right? Okay, so I'll try to show you that things can be done in a very modular way. That some things can be really left to certain stage. You don't need to do everything at one go. The what? Ideally, I want to do revision on the 9th. Yeah. 8 independent. Yeah.
9th of August.
No, 9 or not 9. 8. Yeah. It's supposed to shift to the either 8th or 10th. Yeah, 9 is usually.
Oh, okay. There's a change.
Either 8 or 10, you check with the school.
Next week still the same Thursday.
Thursday, yes. So Thursday next week, okay, next week I'll finish up the taxi, then I'll have a cheat sheet and revision for you all. Got cheat sheet. Okay, assignment must submit by 16th that week. Maybe Friday lah. So you cannot just let me know when, because I have a deadline to send the results. So 16th that week you can submit by Friday. If you need more time, tell me. Okay. So because I don't expect you to submit on 16 midnight lah, unless you really complete because you just finished your test. So
Yeah, must be very stressed.
yeah, after test still need to do assignment. Okay, so that week lah, just let me know that week, either on the Friday or you need more time, tell me.
Usually the school won't say cut off our connection to
There is a date they'll cut off,
oh, they
but
cut
not
off, right?
yes, but not so soon. Not like after your exams already cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, recorded.